Hi, my name is Peck, and this is my video for Lab 1 for Systemic Physiology. In lab this week, we learned about many different mechanisms used by the body to transmit signals, and we'll be focusing on the G-protein coupled receptors for this activity. G-protein coupled receptors are used to transmit the signals of hydrophilic messenger molecules that are unable to cross the cell membrane. They do this through a second messenger pathway. First, the hydrophilic hormone binds to the receptor, which will then activate the G protein by replacing GDP with GTP, causing the G protein to become unbound from the receptor protein. The G protein then binds to the effector, which will then proceed to produce the second messenger. The second messenger will then travel within the cell to activate protein kinases, which are responsible for later triggering any sort of response from the cell. The G protein is comprised of 3 subunits: alpha, beta, and gamma. The alpha subunit is the major subunit that dissociates, allowing the G protein to be able to bind to the effector. There are different types of alpha subunits, including alpha S, which leads to the production of cyclic AMP as the second messenger, and alpha Q11, which will lead to the production of IP3 and DAG. Here's an example of the alpha S pathway, which is very similar to the basic pathway as shown previously. First, the hormone binds to the receptor, which then activates the G protein. The G protein then binds to the effector adenylate cyclase, which will then use ATP to produce cyclic AMP. The cyclic AMP is then able to activate protein kinases, which will then continue to trigger cellular response. The alpha Q pathway is slightly different. First, the hormone binds to the receptor, which activates the G protein. The G protein then binds to the effector phospholipase C. This will cause the production of IP3 and DAG. And these are produced from PIP, which is a phospholipid in the membrane. The IP3 then goes and binds to receptors on the endoplasmic reticulum, which opens up calcium channels, allowing an influx of calcium ions into the cytosol, which then can act as another second messenger. The DAG goes on to activate protein kinases, which can then lead to a cellular response, as can the calcium. G-protein coupled receptors are essential to biological functions throughout the body, as many hormones and other messengers are not lipid soluble. G-protein coupled receptors come in many different forms depending on the message being transmitted. Researching for and creating this presentation has vastly improved my understanding of how these amazing pathways work.